intensity. I strongly believe that everything that we want out of life is behind, as many people have said before, the work we are not doing. What I want to add is that it's not that necessarily there's work that we're not doing. It is that there is a level of intensity. There is a level of effort that a lot of people are not actually having. Like, you gotta want it hard enough. You gotta be willing to go all out. For anyone who has been in the gym long enough, we always talk about like percentage of your 1 rep max. Meaning if you can only lift 100 pounds for 1 rep, then that 100 pound is 100% of what you can do if you go for 1 rep. So if you go 90 pounds, then you're at 90%. So the closer you are to that 100 and the more intense it is good to always train close to that 100? No. But this is something that comes with time. You gotta earn the right to be fatigued. You gotta train your body. You gotta test your limits so you truly know that 100 pound is your true 100%. Have you actually trying to go 110, 120? And this idea actually transfers to everyday life. Trying to get a better job. How often do you apply to other jobs? When is the last time you worked on your resume? How many hours did you spend working on your resume? If you're actually serious about your goals and you want to get a better job, you want to have more money or just have better finances overall, then why aren't you spending, let's say, 50 hours working on your resume? Why aren't you applying to 500 jobs? You literally have the option of doing it. No one is stopping you. Most of the limits that we have, for a lot of us living in the West, we have a lot of comfort. So most of the stuff stopping us are all self-imposed. I don't want to do public speaking because I'm shy. That's fine. But no one actually knows that you're shy until you actually say it. I don't work this job because it's uncomfortable. No one knows it's uncomfortable until you tell them it's uncomfortable. You could snap your finger and all of a sudden be a public speaking expert. So most of these things are self-imposed. So it's up to you to just decide, you know what? I'm gonna be this person. But you gotta want it bad enough. You gotta be willing to put the work in, the effort, the intensity. You gotta be able to max out. But if you don't max out consistently enough, then you don't actually know your limits. You might think that 100 pound is all you can do. And maybe that's the case. If that's the case, perfect. Now you truly know your 1 rep max. Then you can slowly build on increasing your level of strength. Maybe that 100 is way too much, maybe it's a bit less. So it doesn't always go in one way. But most of the time, people are not putting enough effort. And understanding that idea basically will get you most of the things you want out of life. Because life has never been easier. Modern day, with all of the advances in technology and the science and all of the things we're achieving every single day, has never been easier to succeed. But at the same time, there's never been more distraction. People have never lacked focus as much as right now. But I personally tie it to wanting it bad enough. Because if you want it bad enough, then you're gonna do what's needed. You're gonna put in the work. Effort gonna be present at all time. Because there is such thing as seasons of intensity. Once again, if you bring it back to the gym, you don't have to max out all the time, but you have to max out enough to stimulate enough growth. You need that signal that, okay, we gotta get better, we gotta be stronger, we gotta be faster. But you gotta give your body a reason to be there. And that transfers to every single area of life. You gotta want it enough. And if you want it enough, then there is nothing that you aren't willing to do legally. And so effort, intensity, those are key. Consistency, very important. That is something that is most of the time overly emphasized. So yeah, so you do want to be consistent, but you already know you got to be consistent. But are you actually putting in the work? Because if you actually grind, whether it's regarding you trying to get faster, or you trying to lose some weight, or you trying to reach a certain amount in your savings account, if you actually grind, you have like a season of intensity. In a way, you don't even have to be that consistent. You just went all out. You actually tested your limit. For the last 2 years, I've been working between 80 and 100 hours a week. Is this something that most of us should be doing all the time? Of course not. But the same way you gotta test your limit in the gym, the same way you wanna test your limit in terms of how much work can you actually do. I think Alex Hormozy is the one who said, for a season or for a reason. For a season or for a reason. Maybe I'm in a season of my life where I want to grind. I have the strength, I have the physical strength, I have the mental strength, I have the stamina, and I can get after it. So sure, I'm going to do it. So I'm laying the foundation so later on I don't have to grind as much. But it gives you like a certain level of peace of mind, knowing that there is this gear that if I have to, I can work 80 to 100 hours a week. It's not something that I should be doing all the time, but if I wanted to do it, I know what I can do. So yeah, so this is just something to keep in mind. My attempt right now is just to share kind of my vision, some life philosophies. I don't have it all figured out. I'm kind of just learning on the fly, learning on the job, as we say. And my hope is that some of the lessons or some of the insights that I've learned and that I'm sharing might help someone